안녕하세요, Minah. I guess I should do a Norwegian intro today because I'm gonna be talking about what it's like to live in Norway, so hi. Okay, living in Norway. This is a question I've gotten many times on many different platforms, like specifically language exchange apps and pen pal sites and just in general like people who discover me through the fact that I'm Norwegian, you know? I like to make friends around the world, especially through like pen pal sites and language exchange, and I've gotten a few really good friends like that, and also, you know, lots of strange acquaintances. This is a question that I've heard many times. It's a question I've been asked many times, and that is, what is it like to live in Norway? And it's both very easy and very difficult to answer because, you know, it's very individual, but I also feel like I am a rather good observer of things, and I tend to see things in a way that many people might not notice. So I'm gonna try my very best to explain to you as objectively as possible what is it like to live in Norway. I'm not gonna say if it's gonna be good for you or bad for you, if you're gonna like it or not, but I'm just gonna try to talk about what it's like. There is this one word that always kind of covers the basis for me when it comes to what is it like. Comfortable. Living in Norway is very comfortable. Like, you can't deny it. Of course, there are people who have it horrible, and there are people who have it way better than comfortable. In general terms, I would say that living in Norway is very comfortable. There are three main components to this, well, 3.5, or two of them kind of belong together, and that is free healthcare. Now, this is a big subject for a lot of people. It's so strange for me to think about countries where people have to pay for everything. We have to pay for stuff. I say, you know, if I say free healthcare, I'll do it like this because you have to pay some money for it, but it's not that much. Basically, in Norway, when you go to like your doctor, your regular doctor or something like that, you're gonna have to pay. Well, basically, there is this limit each year. This limit of around 2,000 Norwegian kroners, which is a little less than $300, which you will have to pay. If you go to the doctor, it's gonna be like $20 or something just for a consultant. And if you do like blood tests and whatnot, you can add like another $10. So you pay like a share. You don't pay for the whole thing. You pay a share for just the thing. And when you reach that limit of like, actually, never mind. It's actually $233. So when you reach that limit, you don't have to pay anymore. You have reached like the limit of how much the share that you're supposed to pay, and after that it goes completely free, with some exceptions, like depending on what kind of procedures you're doing and whatnot. $233 doesn't sound like a lot now, does it? It's not. It's really not. Like, if you go on a medication, like my boyfriend does, he has ADD, so he takes ADD medicine. It's not that cheap. It's not super expensive either, but you know, he spends a certain amount of money on it. But then when he reaches, you know, those $230, then you will get the rest of it for free throughout the year. It's like a calendar year kind of thing, so you have to work it up each year. Yeah. Healthcare. Free healthcare. What? Crazy. NAV, which is a service, what is it called? It's kind of a government organ who helps people who don't have jobs. So if you don't have a job, you're still gonna get money to live, and then they're gonna help to get you into jobs. There's a lot of opinions about NAV and a lot of like abuse of the system and stuff like that, but you know, baseline is they're gonna keep you economically alive. It's also the one that's the most difficult one because I don't know a lot about it. I know they do different things, but in general terms, if you're not in school and you don't have a job, NAV is the place you go. Also, if you're sick from work from like a long period of time, let's say months, then also it will be NAV who pays you money because, you know, your employer is not gonna pay for you being sick. Some people cannot get into work because of, you know, mental reasons. They don't have a diagnosed illness, but they have a real big issue trying to get into, you know, work. They have a hard time getting a real job, and a lot of people will then look down at them and be like, oh, you're not doing anything for society. You just sit on your ass and get money from NAV. But then there are people who do it on purpose, you know? The people who just like, you know what, I don't have to get a job, I don't have to do a thing because I can just get money from the state and live off that. Then there is Statens Lånekasse, which, hold on, I actually looked it up. In English, as they call it, it's Norwegian State Educational Loan Fund, which is a really long name, so I'm just gonna call it student loan. Easy and simple. It's a student loan, state's student loan, right? It's not a bank, it's the state. In Norway, you have the right to have 5 years of student loan. Now, that might sound a little weird to you as well. Like, you have the right to get money from the state to study. You generally don't need it until you start higher education though. And when you start higher education, you get a student loan / scholarship, which basically means if you finish everything, like everything is given to you as a loan, a lot of money. Basically, they give you enough to live on month by month, as well as money to pay for the school. In a lot of cases, you don't really pay for school. Higher education is also free in Norway. The public schools, that is, like Oslo University, University of Bergen, like stately schools, public schools are free. And if you finish your education, then 40% of your entire loan will be transferred over to a scholarship, which basically means you're just gonna have to pay back 60% of what you loaned. Now, I want to talk a little bit about social culture and then MISC. Norway as a social culture is very widely known to be cold and kind of closed up, which is true. It's very true. I think Norwegian people are actually nicer than a lot of people think. A lot of people think that Norwegian people are very rude and not nice and not friendly, I guess. But I think they are. Norwegian people are rather friendly, but they are very closed up. They are not going to be the first people to contact you, generally speaking. And they tend to stick to their friends and their family and the people that they know. If you come to Norway and you don't know anybody here, it's going to be really hard for you to make friends, honestly. If you don't go to school, that is, or if you don't have a job, because those are really like natural ways to get to know people. But if you just move here and you don't have a job yet and you don't go to school, how are you gonna make friends? It's not a place where people will start chatting at the bus stop, or a place where people will like start talking to the cute girl in line when you want to buy coffee at Starbucks. It's not really a place like that. So I think even though it's like physically and economically comfortable to live in Norway, I think socially Norway is not a place for everyone, okay? I have a video on how to make friends. You should check it out if you are in Norway and you want to make friends, because honestly, spare time activities, school, work, those are the best ways to get to know people. And also Norway is very much a place where your friends will come from, common friends, right? Family and common friends. Most of my friends either come from school or common friends. Okay, that's about it. There was not that much to say about social culture. It's closed up, it's really kind of hard to get into. Okay, Misk. What is it like to live in Norway? Well, stores close really early. Not food stores, like grocery stores. They tend to be open from 7 to 11, depending on where you are. In Oslo, like big cities, a lot of places are open 24/7. But 7 to 11, like 7 in the morning to 11 in the evening, that's really normal. On Sundays, most stores will be closed, though there are a lot of stores that have like... Basically, there's this limit and this rule in Norway that you can have a store open on Sundays if it is really small, like if it fits between like really like slim portions. So you will have less of a selection, but you will usually be able to buy milk and bread on Sundays. And then on Saturdays, a lot of stores close a little bit earlier, but that really depends on the store and the brand. Smaller stores are less open. Bigger stores are more open. Malls will usually open on weekends 10 to 8, and like standalone stores on the street level will usually be open from 10 to 5 on weekdays, and then on Saturdays things close even earlier. Malls 10 to 6 and street level stores 10 to 3, I think. Sundays, everything's closed. It might be a little different in big cities like Oslo, but it's rare there too. I think there's a mall there that's open to 10 on weekdays. Not a normal thing. But okay, that's all I had to say today. I hope you got a bit of a grasp of what it's like to live in Norway. It's comfortable, but the social culture is a little difficult, and things close early. That's like wrap up. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and if there's anything you want to know about Norway, then also do let me know, and I will have a look at it and try to explain it as best as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Look forward to my vlogs. They'll be coming out at some time. Annyeong! Annyeong! Ha det bra. Okay.